Okay, so let's get ready to do our warm up. Okay, so as usual, check your surroundings, make sure there's nothing you can trip on, slip on. Okay, and we're just gonna get started. Excuse me. And we're just gonna get started with just marching on the spot. Okay, or just moving any way you like. Okay, and we're just going to move the fluids out of our spine a little bit by just gently kind of rounding our back a little bit as we breathe out. Okay, and breathing in as we bring our chest up, arching our back slightly. Okay, start off with slower, smaller motions. Okay, when you feel comfortable, feel free to exaggerate motion a little bit. So try to pull your shoulders back a little bit, pull your fingers back, press the palm out to the side. Okay, and still just breathing out fully. And repeat for a couple more times. Okay, let's add a little bit side to side and look towards our fingertips as we open up the chest. Okay, so still breathing in as we turn our necks. Okay, and then rotating the rest of the spine by just swinging our arms back and forth. Okay, so see if you can reach the opposite side of your hips. Okay, both arms behind the back. Okay, we're still opening the chest a little bit more. Okay, deep breath in as we gently press the back of our hand into our pelvis or low back and pulling our shoulders open as well. Okay, when contraction, relax. So breathing in, press into the pelvis. Okay, breathing out, just relax. Okay, let's repeat for 3 to 5 times. Keeping our feet moving if you feel comfortable. You can also try to get your hands a little bit high up, okay, if you don't have any pain in the shoulders and you feel comfortable with this. Okay, bring our arms back. Okay, we're just going to reach up, okay, and down with the hands. Okay, slowly see if you can reach further down your neck. Okay, and then try to reach a little bit further up your back as well. Okay, and when you do both sides together, okay, so one hand's going to go behind the head, other hand goes behind the pelvis. Okay, once again, start off with smaller and slower motions. Okay, if you don't have any pain in your shoulders, you can try to maybe scoot your hands a little bit further together. Okay, but don't try too hard. Still think of this as a warm-up. Okay, take this slow. Just 3 to 5 times per side. Shake things off a little bit. Side to side. Okay, front to back. Okay, let's rotate your thumbs in, reaching backwards. Okay, but chest still staying tall. Okay, breathing in, bring your arms a little high up. Okay, bring your chest along as well. Okay, so repeat. Slowly see if you can bring your arms a little bit closer to your ears. Okay, so we're not trying to arch back so much. We're trying to bring your arms closer, further up. Okay, trying to cover up our ears with our upper arm. You can still breathe in as we reach upwards. Okay, we're going to stay here for a little bit. Press up towards the ceiling and then kind of alternating fashion, opening up the palm. Okay, try to breathe in. Okay, and out as you go up and down. Okay, coming back down. Okay, shaking the shoulders off a little bit. Okay, we're going to tilt the head sideways a little bit. Okay, we're going to reach down with our fingertips. Okay, reaching up with our ears, feeling a stretch just beside the neck. Okay, and once again, we're going to contract and relax. Okay, so I'm going to reach down, the fingers reaching up the ears, hold for maybe half a second or so. Okay, and relax. Okay, 3 to 5 times. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Just tuck your chin a little bit closer to a collarbone. If you don't feel steady looking down, you can stop your feet to hold onto something. Okay, completely up to you. Okay, just coming back to center, pausing for a second until you feel you're completely steady. Okay, then when you're okay, then repeat on the other side. Okay, so still shoulders away from the ears. Okay, squeeze and relax. If you feel comfortable, once again, try to tuck the chin closer to your armpits. Okay, and repeat. So I'm just kind of popping my heels right now. Just feel a little more steady this way. Okay, and back to center. Okay, give yourself a little bit of pause. Okay, when you're ready, just go into a big shoulder circle. Okay, moving your spine along as well. Okay, maybe just 3 to 5 times per direction. Okay, and just rotate the arms. Maybe 3 to 5 times in one direction, switch directions afterwards. Okay, in front of us. Okay, inwards. Okay, try to compress our arm into our chest a little bit. Okay, so we're not so much turning the spine. Okay, we're trying to compress or squeeze our arms into our chest. Okay, upwards. A little slower. Okay, still trying to move from the shoulder area, less of the elbows and the wrists. Okay, rotating arms this way. Okay, elbow stays close to the body. Arms or fingertips are pushed out. Okay, change direction. Okay, elbows up, reach into the armpits, rotate into the entire arm. Okay, opposite direction. Put a plate on your hands. Okay, so fingertips goes towards the back, palms up to the ceiling. Okay, and just a couple more wrist circles. Okay, moving each finger. Okay, opening and closing all of them. Okay, including the fingertips. Okay, side to side. Okay, and relaxing the upper body. Okay, just go into a full hip circle. Okay, 3 to 5 times per direction, and then switch sides. Okay, relaxing your shoulders. Can let your spine side bend a little bit as well. Okay, exaggerate back motion. We're going to hinge with our hips. Okay, so back straight. Legs, knees are fairly straight. Okay, just pushing our hips back until you feel a stretch behind the thighs or the knees. Okay, we're going to go into a squatting motion, so maybe feet a little wider. Bending the knees a little bit more this time. Everything else pretty much stays the same. Okay, just sitting on a stool. Okay, letting our knees bend a little bit more, but you're not jamming your knees forward. You're still setting your hips back. Okay, hips, feet a little wider. Still setting our hips back. Still bending one knee. Okay, but keeping the other one straight. Okay, feeling a stretch just on the ends, cutting off the groin area of the straight leg. You're just alternating back and forth. Once again, my knees don't necessarily bend too much. Okay, it could be as little as this. Okay, or it could be a little more. Up to you and how your knees are. Okay, but primarily I'm pushing or setting my hips backwards, using more my hips instead of my knees. Okay, forward part. Okay, so you're going to bring your belt buckle up. You're going to try to drive your heel backwards towards the ground. Okay, separating your belt and your heel. Okay, and see if you can squeeze and relax again. Okay, trying to get your hips a little more forward. Okay, while keeping the belt buckle up, keeping the heel kind of towards the ground. Okay, and contract and relax. Okay, just 3 to 5 times and then switch. Okay, once again, belt buckle up, heel towards the ground. Squeeze and relax. Okay, so we're trying to open up the front of the hips. Okay, shift things off. Okay, let's rotate our hips a little bit. Okay, so just spin your heels. Okay, feeling the motion from our hip joint. Okay, same thing on the other leg. Okay, use something for support, and we're just going to exaggerate the motion. Okay, front to back. And repeat on the other side. Okay, if you want, you can try to test your balance a little bit, but hold on to as much support as you need. Switch legs again. Okay, and just draw kind of a half circle. Okay, focusing on the back half. Okay, usually we okay the front. Okay, focus your attention on trying to bring your hips back, opening up in the front. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Okay, once again, try to squeeze your hips back. Drive your heels back. Okay, and moving the knees a little bit. Okay. Just trying to bring our heels high up. Feeling the back of our thighs working. Okay, add a little bit of a pause at the top. A little bit of a squeeze. Okay, be careful of cramping up. Okay, and then the ankles. Okay, and a little bit of the foot. Rocking back and forth. Okay, exaggerate motions if you feel comfortable. Okay, side to side. Okay, try to tilt our feet a little bit. Okay, draw circles at the ankles. Okay, focus on drawing a bigger circle, okay, rather than a fast circle. Okay, feet and the toes, scratch the floor. Okay, try to lift your toes off the ground. Try to spread your toes apart if you are able. Okay, and shake everything out. Okay, so that was a warm-up. Let's go into our 10 minutes sets. Okay, so manage your own pace. Okay, speed up or slow down according to how you feel. You can take a break anytime. Okay, we're just trying to get into a point where we're just a little bit out of breath. Okay, so you should still be able to count out loud, at least to a count of 5. Okay, so you should be able to say like a short sentence still. Okay, relaxing the shoulders. Okay, so strengthen the shoulders a little bit. You're still standing a little bit taller. So I'm going to choose to slowly increase my pace. Okay, first round, we're just going to exaggerate the motion, reaching upwards. Okay, elbow maybe to shoulder height, knee maybe just at least kind of mid-thigh height, or maybe even hip height if you feel comfortable. Okay, so we're reaching up a little higher if you want to. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit faster for myself. Okay, next round, we're still reaching up, but we add a little bit of rotation of the body. Okay, so your toes are going to start off kind of pointing out towards both sides. Okay, as you reach up, you're going to turn. Okay, so both toes should point in the same direction at the end of the reach. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Okay, so toes pointing up. I'm going to turn and reach. Okay, how high you're reaching is completely up to you. Probably less dizzy if you're still facing forward or looking forward, even as your body turns. Okay, but see if you can turn your pelvis, pivot on your one foot. Okay, and back to a march. Okay, you can do more or less. Okay, next one, pretty much the same motion, but when you get back in the middle, you can go into a little bit of a squat. Okay, so sit on a very tall, invisible bar stool. Okay, and then reach up and turn afterwards. Okay, so a little bit of a squat, turn and reach. So I'm just sitting down slightly. Okay, you can of course go lower if you want to. Okay, let's start off high up. And if you're okay, you can go a little bit lower to make it harder. Okay, take an active break in between. Okay, next one, we're just going to go instead of reaching up, we go side to side. Okay, a little bit smaller motion this time, a little bit quicker with our motions. Okay, so feet still start off slightly pointing out to the side. Okay, and smaller motion, just a little bit quicker. Okay, you can even just not move your feet at all if you want to go faster than this. Okay, but our pelvis is still turning side to side a little bit. Okay, not just twisting the spine, we're actually turning our lower body as well. Okay, faster you go, probably smaller the motion. Okay, catch your breath in between. Okay, next one, still turning side to side. Bigger motion this time. We actually need to step towards the direction that we're reaching. Okay, so pretty much the same thing, but you can step and reach. Okay, step and reach on the towards the directions we are turning. Okay, so take a step, still turning our feet, still rotating for our pelvis. Okay, you can choose to reach a little further, take a bigger step. Okay, but try to turn. You can even open up the palm. Okay, next one, we're still reaching side to side. Okay, but this time instead of taking a step, we're gonna same side leg. We're gonna just cross it behind us a little bit. Okay, so we're moving the same side. Okay, just reaching, crossing behind, crossing our midline from behind. Okay, so you can do smaller motion first, where you just tap your foot kind of behind the heel of the opposite leg. Okay, you can of course exaggerate this a little bit if you want to, only if you feel comfortable. Okay, still try to open up the palm. Okay, and take an active break in between. Okay, so next one, we are going to be reaching down towards the, so we're squatting down a little bit, reaching towards the knees, okay, and then we're going to go towards the side, okay, and then up to the ceiling. Okay, so we'll be down, side, up. Okay, back to the middle, low. Okay, and we're just going to continue this pattern. Okay, go fast if you want to. Move the turn, pivot your feet a little bit. Okay, don't just twist your spine. Okay, and adjust how far you're going to make it easier or harder. Okay, next one, we're going to be not moving our feet so much, okay, but we're reaching down, okay, and then reaching up. Okay, so as you reach down, you're going to go into a squatting pattern once again. Okay, as you reach up, you go onto your tiptoes. Okay, so lengthen the body, okay, and then reaching down to pick up something as we squat down and up. Okay, squat and up. Okay, you're going to set your hips back, feet flat on the ground. Okay, knees hovering over the feet. Okay, you're going to bring your chest up as you reach up. Okay, so calves probably a little bit tired. Okay, almost same pattern. Okay, you're going to reach down towards one foot. Okay, as you reach up, you can turn and reach to the opposite side. So we're going to just go reach down and up. Almost same thing as before, but a little bit of rotation. Okay, we're going to go 15 seconds one way and then switch sides. Okay, so. Okay, almost the same thing, just kind of one-sided. Okay, and then switch directions, so reaching towards opposite knee and reaching towards the opposite ceiling. Pick up, going up on the tiptoes on the moving side, I guess. Okay, and then slowing back down. There also 10 minutes. Almost 25 minutes in total with our warm-up. Okay, so keep moving until your heart rate comes back down a little bit. Your breathing comes back down. Okay, if you like, we can do a little bit of a vision kind of exercise as well, just as a cool down. Okay, so keep your feet moving in some ways. Okay, but you're going to try to turn your head, okay, without changing the focus on your eyes. Okay, so that was side to side. Okay, this time, try to change the focus of your eyes, okay, without moving your head. Okay, so you can think of you're following something with your eyes, it can be your fingers, okay, or it could be something imaginary. Okay, and you're just moving your eyeballs side to side without moving your head. Okay, so you can be slower than this. Okay, next one, we are going to move our gaze and the head at the same time. Okay, so you just a regular turning of the head. And once again, go as slowly as you need to. Hold on to something. I'll just stop if it makes you feel dizzy. Okay, last one, we're trying to make our gaze go one way and then our head goes the other way. Okay, so you can think of looking at your finger while you're turning in the opposite direction. Okay, and stopping for a second. Okay, very last one, we're just going to change our focus. So, okay, so you're going to have your fingers in front. Okay, for this one, probably stop your feet. You're going to bring your fingers a little closer. Okay, bring it a little bit further away. Okay, so it's just a vision exercise to be able to change the focus of the eyes. Okay, as we kind of get older, as we kind of use the computers or not, sometimes our eyes get stuck a little bit. So can make your eyes feel a little tired. Okay, so let's take a 2-minute break. Okay, so it's right now is 9:58. Okay, so we'll come back at around 10 o'clock for the second set. Okay, remember to drink enough fluids. For the second set, we're still going to be using the towels. So you can probably grab one if you have one. If not, you can follow along without it as well. Okay, so still a mini cool down, mini warm up. Okay, so just try to stand tall, shoulders still a little bit wide. Okay, swing in from our shoulders. Okay, a little bit of rotation to the spine, so this week a little bit exaggerated. Okay, but when we walk, our spine does rotate side to side a little bit. Okay, kind of in the opposite direction of our feet, which helps us to kind of balance. Okay, just start off. Maybe just moving our elbows up and down to get a better grip. Okay, maybe a little faster, the feet to match. Okay, next one, we're just going to be opening up the shoulders up top. Okay, so a lot of these is actually almost a shoulder mobility exercise, okay, because we're trying to bring our elbows through the full range. Okay, so we're just going to flip it up top. Okay, start off elbows to shoulder height. Okay, as you feel comfortable, you can sort of see if you can bring your elbows a little bit higher up. Okay, remember you're opening up the shoulders, okay, so you're not so much kind of trying to arch back so much. Okay, so chest goes up, shoulders goes up, okay, but you're not overly arching it back. You're just trying to point your elbows a little bit high up. Okay, and your chest goes up, your mid back extends. Okay, so next one, we're going to go almost side to side. Okay, so we're just going to be swinging it kind of side to side a little bit. You can go into just the pivoting of the feet. Okay, so just try to go to full range. Okay, if you want to, you can just even go swinging behind the shoulders, a little bit of rotation. Okay. Next one, we're going to go with a single arm kind of pattern. Okay, so either make the towel a little shorter or just grab both the tails at both ends with one hand. Okay, it's pretty much the same idea. You're just still going to swing it back and forth. Okay, and if you feel comfortable, see once again if you can swing it behind your head. Okay, and then going back, trying to reach towards the opposite side a little bit. Okay, so we build up a little bit of momentum first. Okay, once again, see if you can bring your elbows up a little higher this time. Okay, your spine, let's rotate a little bit. Keep your feet moving in some ways if you're comfortable. Okay, I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay, just whenever you're ready. So you swing it behind you from the outside. Okay, so as you open up and try to get your elbows a little higher, your hand a little further behind you. Okay, so as you swing upwards, hands kind of behind. Okay, see if you can do that without kind of looking down. So try to open the shoulders a little bit more. Okay, rotating the spine does help a little bit. Okay, so next one, we are going to just have our towel behind our back like so. Okay, and you're just going to be drawing circles with the elbows. Okay, try to bring the elbows closer in. Could be just shoulder height, could be a little bigger circle. Okay, let's see if you can draw a circle with your elbows. You can draw it from the, let's go from bottom to up top. Okay, trying to open up. Okay, we're just going to get ready to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so just move through the range that you have that is pain-free. Okay, once again, I'm going to try to bring it inwards, upwards, outwards. Okay, so don't worry about how high you're going, just focus on going to the outside and going towards the inside. Okay, and the next one, we are just going to go in a little bit faster, a little bit bigger motion. Okay, so pretty much the exact same thing as before. So we're still doing this with the elbows. Okay, but as you bring to the outside, you're going to draw a sword and let the momentum carry back to the starting position. Okay, so we pull it out, the towel swings around, back to our starting position. Okay, so you do it a little bit smoothly. It looks something like this. Okay, the elbow doesn't have to go too high. Okay, but the elbows is same motion as before. A little bit of wrist rotation in here as well. So it might take a little bit of practice to get this. But once you get it, you can go a little bit faster if you want. Okay, and kind of last round, just the same thing on the opposite arm. So take this as slowly as you need to, even do it one at a time. So but opening up, okay, draw something out, okay, back to the starting position. Okay, once again, opening up, draw it out, carry the momentum back to the starting position. So you can once again draw circles first. Okay, when you feel comfortable, let your arms extend. Okay, so let's slow back down. Okay, when probably I'm not going to be using the towel after. Okay, but afterwards, even if you get more comfortable, you can even do it with both kind of arms together. Okay, so these are actually Indian club kind of movements. So they use kind of two, almost like a hammer or a mace, and they can do things. They do something like this, where they move kind of two clubs, two mace in a circular motion. So it does strengthen the shoulders because they use heavier weights in a towel. And also kind of bring our shoulders in a full range as well. Okay, so we really want to focus on opening up our chest a little bit more. Okay, just because we tend to be here so often. We want to be out here for practice. Okay, so I think that was fairly kind of light. So let's just skip the mini cool down and let's take a break. Okay, so right now it's 10 past 10. Okay, so let's come back at 12 past 10 for the last set. Okay, so I think there's a question. Just for, I guess, interest, I know I have this in the background. So this is almost a form of, it's a maze as well. So it's kind of a similar motion before. So I'm still, it's a very similar motion to what we just did, but this is a two-armed version. Okay, so there's something like this. There's a kind of a shorter version, lighter version where they do what I just demonstrated. Okay, just kind of a little bit side note for your interest. Okay, but we do grip something just because as a reflex, as you grip, your shoulder automatically kind of stabilizes itself. It's kind of how we climb. Okay, so let's go to our last set. Okay, once again, you can go faster. If you feel like second set is a little bit lighter, you can do this slowly as well if you feel like, because we've been doing this for like 40 minutes already, so it could be a little tired. Okay, so still slowly ramping up if you choose to. Okay, let's do a little bit more hips for the last set. Okay, or just lower body in general. Okay, so first round, we're just going to kind of reach out of our foot. Okay, if you feel comfortable, you can lift it off the ground. Okay, so your hands can be just whatever you feel comfortable to counterbalance. Okay, so if you feel comfortable, you can lift it a little bit higher up. Okay, feel the muscles in the side of the hips. I'm just doing a smaller motion of the arms. Okay, you can do bigger or smaller. A little more tiring for the side of the hips. Okay, next one, similar idea, reaching backwards. Arms can be just moving forward, just to counterbalance again. Okay, so you can just try to reach your heels further back, or you can try and lift it up to ground a little bit as well. Focus on being squeezing butt muscles to do so. Okay, so reaching, so for you to squeeze in your back of your hips. Okay, don't like lean so much forward, overly arch your back. Okay, we try to use the hips a little bit more. Okay, next one will be forward. Okay, so arms will be just kind of somewhere up here first. Okay, you're gonna reach forward and try to bring your toes forward as up as well. Getting your hands a little closer together. It doesn't have to touch. Okay, try to stay tall while we are kind of kicking our leg upwards. Okay, so it might look something like this. Okay, maybe a little bit of a stretch behind our thighs. Okay, try to stay tall. Okay, so resist the urge to slouch. Okay, you can even just do one arm. It might feel a little more natural this way. Okay, part front of the hips starting to feel a little bit sore. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a half circle, a little bit of a step. Okay, so we're going to try to bring our knees up front, out to the side, almost a tiny step to the side, okay, and then backwards. Okay, so you're stepping over something, coming back, same thing on the other side. Okay, once again, see if you can stay tall, okay, while you are lifting your legs. Okay, so we're trying to separate the motion from our feet to the trunk. Okay, so if you're actually stepping over something, we don't want to be kind of swaying all over this side so much. Okay, how big the motion of your hips are, completely up to you. Okay, so next one, let's just go side to side a little bit. Okay, if you want, you can swing your arms side to side. Take this as slowly as it is safe for you. Okay, so just a couple of side steps. Okay, so you can do this really slow. Okay, you can also choose to go a little bit faster. Okay, so let's do a rotational step. Okay, so we're gonna have the arms, let's have the arms actually in front, sorry, and then you're gonna open up, come back, open up, come back. Okay, so it'll be a half step. Okay, your head, if you keep your focus in the front, it might be less dizzying, I guess, if that's a word. Okay, but try to rotate your pelvis, opening up. Okay, a little bit of a shoulder exercise as well. Okay, so let's work on squatting pattern a little bit more again. Okay, so we're just going to do the kind of the punching forward, okay, while slowly going, sitting down, slowly coming back up. Okay, so feet shoulder width apart or a little bit wider, slowly go sink down. Once again, set your hips back. It's okay if your upper body leans a little bit more forward. Okay, if your ankles are a little bit locked up, okay, you might either have to sit a little further back, okay, or you might have to raise the heel off the ground a little bit. Okay, last 2 minutes. Okay, so next one, we are just going to go into the similar thing, or let's call this a sumo push. Okay, so you're sitting, kind of squatting down like a sumo wrestler, and you're just going to be pressing forward while moving forward as well. Okay, so just moving any way that's feel comfortable for you. Okay, but we're holding a little bit of a squat. Okay, if it's yet difficult, go a little higher up. Okay, lower will be more difficult. Okay, try to open up the palm. Okay, thigh is probably a little bit sore by now. Okay, and just coming back out. Okay, for the last round, we're just gonna do the back of the thighs a little bit. Okay, so that's the one where we're just kicking up the heel, kind of like what we did in the warm-up. Okay, if you want to use your hands as a target, okay, or you can just kind of kick it up by itself. Okay, so if you want to hold on something, feel free to continue. But the goal is just to kick the heel a little bit high up. So back of the thighs might be a little bit sore. Okay, and slowing back down again. Okay, so let's just walk it off a little bit first. Okay, so let's stretch your shoulders while we are at it. So just basic shoulder stretch. Okay, keep your feet moving if you feel like your heart rate is still up, if your breathing is still fast. Switch sides whenever you feel like it. Okay, a little bit of a palm stretch, wrist stretch. Okay, so just the prayer stretch. So palms flush against each other, wrist a little bit lower down. Try to straighten out the fingers. You can add a little bit of pressure kind of side to side if you want to stretch one side a little bit more. Things out. Let's just do basic hips and calf stretch. Okay, so still elevate your toes so that it's higher than your heels. Okay, so try to set your hips on top until you feel a stretch behind the calves. Okay, focusing on trying to take a bigger breath in. Okay, try to breathe into the belly area a little bit more. Okay, think of your lungs like a balloon. It should kind of expand as we breathe in. Okay, it should kind of sinks back in as we breathe out. And switch whenever you're ready. Okay, lastly, just the front of the hips again. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Okay, hips square to the front. Okay, you're still trying to bring your belt buckle up towards the ceiling in front of you. You're trying to drive the heel down towards the floor behind you. You're trying to create more distance between the top of your belt buckle or the top of your pelvis to the back of the hip. And almost try to breathe into the area where you feel the tightness. Okay, shake it off and just switch whenever you want to. Same thing as before. Okay, shake it off a little bit. So maybe a little bit of a neck circle if you want to, just to make sure that we are not too tense. Okay, a little bit of hip circle. Okay, relaxing back a little bit as well. Okay, and shake everything out. And we are done for today. So thank you for coming, everyone. See everyone next time. No problem. Bye.